Janaka. My name is Janaka Wijesekera. I'm from Sri Lanka. In my profession, I'm a chartered environmentalist. I'm working for one of the largest business conglomerate in Sri Lanka named Abans Group as the capacity of head of the department environmental management. My motivation is to develop some particular standardized facility for the electronic waste because we are the leading electronic and electric importer to the country. At the meantime, we have another business that we are doing a waste management. So I think this is very good opportunity to develop some good platform to manage electronic waste in the country. Already we are exporting that electronic waste after pre-processing. The biggest challenge, what I understood, that how to establish one particular facility, because in the country there's a particular legal framework, but it's not really specified electronic waste, but in the sense of the environmental management wise, there's a sound legal framework, but there are certain issues, and especially that the informal movement and the existing mechanism for get rid of these electronic items. So I mean that when it comes to this institution level, when they want to discharge their bulk quantities, yet not change the administration structure, that still it is considered as a fixed asset, and after the depreciation there's a particular procedures for the tender procedure, and that's the way they dispose. So that still there's this some particular bottleneck to this. And the next thing is that there are certain waste categories, though we are in position to make some income out of these things after exporting or the local level smelting and all those things. The issue is that certain items still we are not in position to make adequate income. So, but there are no proper mechanisms to polluter pay principle, based on a polluter pay principle. So that any other method to sustain that kind of service in the country. To come to that extent, the main requirement is standardized facility. Then we be able to convince our customers, you see, that when you give your stuff to us, so it goes to the proper channel. So then even that after having particular levy or something from the customer, if we are not in position to manage their waste properly, then it's not nice. So that the initial step that we did to establish some facility, that is the preliminary step already we have done, because then we have biggest channel to whom we have to whom we have to deliver this stuff after pre-processing. So for the certain categories, especially the PCBs that we are having particular market, and we were able to obtain that Basel clearance, but still there are certain stuff, I mean especially the plastics, different kind of plastics, and that is it's very mixed plastics, and it's very difficult to manage within the territory. So such type of materials, still we have to find out solution. In the meantime, there are certain hazardous components like batteries and things like battery stoners that subjected to gate fee even. So there should be a that we have to find out solutions. So once we complete this particular structure, then we can focus this internal levy structure. Probably that is the next step. And also we are looking rather than the complete manual dismantling and this structure, to get the materials and do the mechanization up to a certain extent. But we are not looking to extract the materials, the precious metal or something. I suppose it's not much economical in the ground. The country is a different, it's a middle income state, and physical development index, it's more or less same as European state. So that means that our consumer pattern is really different in the region, so that we are generating much more items, and we are discarding more and more. That means then there should be a advanced methodology. But at the meantime, there's a issue that some set of people used to sustain their livelihood from this stuff. That's the basically that's why informal sector mainly sustain. So that how can we approach them? I mean, once we establish particular mechanism, so there should be another social issue, but we have to be in balanced approach. So that our target is multiple integrated approach to address wherever the locations that the waste is available to comes to the centralized location. Once we are having materials from the voluntary involvement or the buyback systems or something, and that levy will support us to this thing. So apparently that how to sustain the people, those who are really do the bottom line waste collection. So as an initiative step that we use to address our janitorial staff, those who are organized in one particular company, so that streamline them to bring the stuff then they are having from their day-to-day waste collection, and without cherry picking whole lot of the whole set of items hand over, then whatever the market rate we can pay. So then even though it is much higher rate for the professional establishment, but the certain other methodologies that we are having materials, I mean that the voluntary disposal and those kind of things, the things that we can earn, so we'll be really able to sustain that sector. I mean, we have to be in a balanced approach, and then only we can do a successful job. The academy really helped me to understand certain gray areas. I mean, that especially that already I am approaching European market for certain materials, and also that as I mentioned at the beginning, to get the facility, some particular facility there to manage high quantities. So in such case, that how can we deliver that stuff to European market, because there are a lot of state-of-art facilities in Europe or Japan. So then there should be a proper idea about this development standards and all. So I suppose this forum really helped me to get that input. So at the meantime, I'm looking this particular subject not just a matter of science. So these are certain sociological aspects also, especially that when it comes to the transboundary movements and all, this is there are certain international relations also that we would like to be able to match all those things. You know that that as a country who that my country is in a non-aligned movement. So that one principle of the one basic thought of non-alignment movement was that now to maintain North-South dialogue, get the input from North and develop facilities or this infrastructure in South. So I suppose this kind of forum really help us to get certain inputs and share that our knowledge. I mean, simple example that when we take this plastic segregation and understand the materials, that the physical segregation is more or less same, but the thing is the presentation is the different. So we have to that those are the plus the certain points that we can really address. And once we get the certain that one the Austrian example, it's very simple. It's not a very hard. It's not a state of art facility, but it's really applicable for this. And so that is the knowledge sharing basically. Actually, institute like this. The EVM, that forum, that I suppose really that there are certain things still you can improve to get more and more input and deliver the things. And also that European side, they also be able to get certain tactics, what that the eastern region is practicing to manage. Because when it comes to the Europe, the number of units is less, but in the eastern side, the consuming units is much high. So that you have to understand these numbers in future. So that is the way we can.